Hello, I'm Dr. Robin White of Blue House Mastini, and today I'm going to talk about evaluating the Mastino. And of course, we want to evaluate the dog for breeding purposes. When you're looking at evaluation, you're looking at structure, you're looking at temperament, you're looking at type, health, and pedigree. And in my opinion, health and structure are the most important. Looking at structure, and this is the basic body plan common of all dogs. This is the skeleton, the muscles, the joints. This is what is described in our breed standard. And this also directly relates to movement. This, of course, is what is evaluated in the shows, AKC or otherwise. So the structural conformation, this is the basic body plan, the breed standard, like I said, and any deviations from a normal canine body type can result in conformation issues. And we're actually lucky in the Neapolitan Mastiff that we haven't deviated from the wild type wolf quite as much as some of the other breeds have. So we have the normal Mastino as described in our standard. There are dogs that are too long for the standard, too short, too tall, ones with no neck, and ones with no chest. And so these abnormal dogs don't win in the ring. They're ugly, and they're also predisposed to significant amounts of health issues. And so we do look at that good structural conformation. We, in the front and the rear, length of the back, the position of the head, when that all comes together, you have a dog that can move. And so good structure equals good movement. And the AKC and other shows do a reasonably good job at assessing this. What they don't assess is temperament. This is the behavior of the dog. It's the behavior of the Neapolitan Mastiff is definitely unique and part of the breed type. And the temperament of the dog definitely influences the quality as a pet. And so dogs that are really nervy, soft, they're not appropriate temperament, and they also don't make as good of pets. And so here we have the Neapolitan Mastiff. He is bold. He is confident. He's got an eye on his surroundings. He's not aggressive. This is the dog that we want. He is protecting his person, protecting his space. This behavior certainly isn't easy for the show rings, especially the AKC show ring or some of the others. However, there are many dogs that do quite well in the show ring. This is calm yet wary, but he is definitely asserting his space and does not want you in his bubble. This is the guard dog. And this is what we want. The other thing, of course, is breed type, and this is what everybody loves to talk about. This is what is specific for the Mastino, what is special for our breed. The wrinkles, the mass, the size. I love Chad Mayo's work, however, we don't want a caricature for our breed. And so breed type is critical, but shouldn't be the only focus in a breeding. And we have health, my favorite. With health, we have the health issues of the individual dog. We have the health issues of the close relatives. And this is the genetic component. And we have health testing. With the health issues of the individual dog, we have the movement of the structure, which we've already discussed in conformation. We have the blood work that you get from your veterinary exam. You have the skin health, foot health that you can see in your own dogs. And you have the age of your dog and how old it becomes. With the health testing, everybody's very familiar with the hip radiographs, the elbow radiographs, the eye exam, the heart exam, that's the chick with AKC. The thyroid and the patella evaluation also have value, in my opinion. And the third component of health is the health issues of the close relatives. And so this is DCM, bloat, orthopedic concerns, thyroid issues, the chronic skin issues, the average longevity. This is the sire and dam, the litter mates, the close relatives of your dog. And so there are certainly many health tests, and it's part of the evaluation process. However, it's not everything. You know, one hip radiograph shouldn't be your entire evaluation for this dog. And they're certainly not all weighted equal. And so lastly, we have pedigree. This is the genetics. Now, I find that lots of people love to talk about pedigree, and specifically they're talking about one or two flashy names within the pedigree. However, evaluating pedigree is so much more than that. And when done right, you really can get a sense of the genetics behind the dog. And so it's more than just a pretty visual. It's a tool for genetic health. And so this can be done through evaluating the coefficient of inbreeding, and that should be done using 20 generations, and also looking at the trends. And so is bloat increasing or decreasing in the pedigree, in the dogs in the pedigree? Is reproductive issues, are they increasing or decreasing? Are there more orthopedic concerns or less orthopedic concerns as you're going down the pedigree? And so this can only have value when we couple the health testing and the health evaluations with the pedigree. You know, just looking at one health test and looking at the pedigree with that's possibly fictitious at some point, you know, that doesn't always have the best value, but putting it all together gives you the most information. And so in my mind, we really need to change the view when we evaluate the dog. Instead of just looking at the individual dog, the one that's in your house, in your backyard, you know, we really need to start evaluating the entire Neapolitan Mastiff population. And so to do that, that is the pedigree, looking at population genetics, looking at the fundamental genetic health within the population. And the coefficient of inbreeding does play a part in that. However, it really should be about putting it all together. Putting together structure, pedigree, temperament type, and health. Coupling those all together and making the evaluation. And so you can do a mental evaluation using intuition and decades of breed experience, looking at all the stuff together. And there's certainly some breeders that are more capable of that than others. You can have it a little bit more concrete and have spreadsheets or an evaluation process and do that. However, most of the breeders these days don't really have access to a lot of the dogs in the pedigree or accurate information on those dogs. And so there's always giant chunks missing in the areas of pedigree and health. And so, you know, it would be nice if we had a well-used methodology where we could put it all together and have it be a little bit more concrete than just, you know, intuition of a highly experienced person. And so voila, we have that. It's called estimated breeding value, and it combines all of the information known in a pedigree and calculates all the values important in a selection using a data-driven evaluation method. And so this could be a valuable tool for dog breeders. It's certainly used by a lot of other animals, zoos and stuff, but the dog fancy hasn't really jumped on board yet. And so where do we start? We need to start with a community-wide effort, you know, with some basic health testing and basic levels of transparency. And doing that will give us the biggest benefits for improvement in our breed. Because, we have to bring this all back and remember that we're doing it for the dog. We're doing it for the puppies in the future, and not necessarily for our moment in time. And so I can't recommend enough the Institute of Canine Biology. Her classes are reasonably priced. She even has some free ones, and I would recommend them, and recommend educating yourself a little bit more about population genetics and some of these other basic things, because this really is the future of dog fancy. Thank you very much for your time.